Our next piece of treasure looks like it's been lying about on the dusty shelves of an ancient joke shop.
It looks like a piece of sculpture.
But in fact, this is one of the only examples of a medieval false nose. So who wore it and why? I've travelled to East Sussex to meet the man that found it, Ray Wilson.
Hello, Ray.
Oh, hello. Wow.
It's tiny.
Where did this weird little nose come from?
This is where I found it.
Ray has a romantic notion. He believes this windy hillside was used by smugglers in the 17th and 18th centuries to bring in tea, brandy and gin.
Well, I think they got frightened off by the customs and excise men. I think they were bringing up their contraband which was being smuggled into the country, and they would fire over their heads, and they panicked and he dropped his nose and ran.
Why would a smuggler be wearing a false nose? I've come to the Hunterian Museum at the Royal College of Surgeons to see if I can find out more.
This is one of my favourite objects. It's a sad story in that this woman contracted syphilis and she lost her nose, and when she did, she had this prosthesis made for her. They really seem fairly similar.
Very similar.
It is possible that it may have been worn because the patient had had syphilis.
Syphilis is a predominantly sexually transmitted infection that can eat away at both flesh and bone. Although today it can be treated, in the 18th and 19th centuries it ravaged Britain.
Really, we have no idea of knowing who owned this nose, but it's such a finely crafted piece of sculpture that it's a work of art in its own right.
Most spindle whorls were plain, but the one I'm going to see, found by Denise Moncaster, is rather different and extremely rare.
What do you know about spindle whorls?
I've never found one with runes on them.
Runes are a special type of ancient writing and may have been used by Viking women to weave people's fate into wool. So what kind of fate was this woman weaving? John Hines from Cardiff University is an expert on reading runes.
I know what it is, but I don't know what it says.
OK, well, going around the side here, we can read the names of three individuals, three gods, in fact. Odin, och Heimdallr, och Thalva.
What do those names mean to you?
Well, they're immediately identifiable as names that come to us out of the mythology of the Vikings.
This little spindle whorl is so high on the list because it is unique and it demonstrates an instinct we can all relate to: love and protection for your children.